Going to study the fifth part of the morphology of the flowering plant. So now today we are going to study something about the stem. Okay, so what is actually stem? Let us take a definition for the stem. You know, the embryo having two cotyledons, and the cotyledon is attached to the first node, and from that node raising an embryonal axis. This is known as embryonal axis. In the embryonal axis, the part uh, above the node, first node, that is known as the plumule, and the part below the first nodule, that is known as the radicle. Okay, so we already studied the radicle is changed into the radicle producing the root system, and the plumule will produce the shoot system, and the shoot system having an ascending part. This is the ascending part of the shoot system, and this ascending part having the main axis. This main axis is known as the stem. So that is the stem, the definition for the stem. So stem is the ascending part. Okay, see the characters. It is an ascending part. Ascending part means it is coming above the ground. So it is known as the ascending part. At the same time, it bears branches. So many branches. It may be bearing branches, or it may be bearing leaves, or it produce flowers, etc. Okay, flowers, fruits, and seeds, etc. Flowers, it also producing flower and seeds, except from the flower it is producing the fruit, and from the fruit it is producing what is seeds, etc. So that heterogeneous part of the plant is known as the stem. So stem is the ascending part of the plant. It bears branches, leaves, flowers, fruits, and seeds. Okay, so that is a good definition for the stem. So let us take some of the characters of the stem. What are the characters of the stem? We already studied the characters of the leaves. We studied the characters of the root. So like that, what are the characters of the stem? So first character of the stem is the stem is a generally green in color. So mostly it is a green. Usually it is a green in color. At the same time, it is actually green in color during the young condition. So when it become the old, or it become the mature, the color may be change, or it become the woody. So in the later stage, it will become the wood-like structure or woody, and the color may be changed to dark brown. Okay, so that is the first property of the stem. It is a green in the young condition, and it become the brown in the old condition. And also it is very soft in the young condition. So when it become the mature, it become woody in structure. Woody means it become hard in structure. Then say it is developing from the plumule. That is another very important character of the stem. Stem is not developing from the any other part of the embryo. It is developing from the plumule. So plumule is changing into stem. Okay, it bears a very other important point. It bears a nodes and internode. So what is actually nodes and internode? Nodes and internode. So see the diagram. What are the nodes and internode? See the point from which the branch arising, or the point from which the leaf may be arising, or maybe a flower arising. That point of arising the stem, branches or leaf or flower is known as the node. See here another node. So there are many nodes along the length of the stem. The distance or the region between the two nodes is known as what is internode. So this is the node and this is the internode. This is another character of the stem. Okay, so let us see the next character. It bears, suppose here is the branch and this is the stem. Here is an axil. We are producing an axil and angular structure, and here having a bud. That bud is known as the axillary bud. So it is bearing bud. This bud may be axillary bud, or it may be apical bud. For here, here is the apical bud. By using the apical bud, the stem increasing the length of the plant, or the plant will growing with the help of this apical bud, and from the axillary bud, it may be producing the branches, or it may be producing the leaf, or some other structure as per the necessity. It may be producing the tendrils, thorn, etc. Okay, axillary bud. It also having what is apical bud. Apical bud present at the apex of the plant. So that is another character of the stem. Then the next character, it also bears branches. It is very clear. It is producing the branches. So it bears branches. It may be producing the branches. Okay, that is another character. Then next character, the main function of the stem. Before that, it is a positively phototropic. Stem is a positively phototropic because it is growing towards the light. So it is a positively phototropic. At the same time, it is moving away from the soil, away from the ground. So it is known as a negatively geotropic. It is a negatively geotropic and positively phototropic. At the same time, it is a negatively it is a hydrotropic also. It is moving away from the water. So it is a negatively hydrotropic also. Tropic means movement, hydro means water, geo means ground or the earth, and photo means light. Okay, so this is another character. If you want increasing the number, you can split this into different numbers. Okay, so next, the main function. What is the function of the stem? The main function of the stem is to raise the leaf. So raise the leaf, spreading the branches and bearing the leaves in such a fashion that maximum light must falling on the leaf, because the main function of the leaf is to produce the food by photosynthesis. For the food production, light is essential. So light must be fall on each and every leaves in a good manner. For that, the leaf must be spread, or the branches must be spread. So spreading the branches in high position so as to get maximum light, that is a function of the one of the function of the stem. The another function of the stem. Next, another function of the stem is that it conduct the water and food. The water absorbed by the root is conducting to the different part of the plant by the stem. At the same time, the leaf producing the food. That food is transporting to the each and every cells part of the plant by the stem. So stem has conduction part. So it conduct the food and minerals and water. Conduction is another function of the stem. Okay, some stem perform the function storage also. See, some of the stem helping for the storage of the food. For example, I will take an example for that. Potato. So in the case of the potato is actually stem. It is growing under the ground. It is a positively geotropic, not a negatively geotropic potato. In the case of the potato, so suppose this is the potato plant, the stem is growing downward and it become increase gradually and producing the potato here. So this potato is a swollen and because it is storing the food. So storage of the food is another function of the stem. Okay, so let us take another function of the stem. That is the stem also helping for the vegetative propagation. So what is the vegetative propagation? Vegetative propagation means vegetative reproduction. Okay, some of the stem in the lower plant, not in the higher plant. In the lower plant, the stem helping for the vegetative propagation. Vegetative propagation means vegetative reproduction. Propagation. Okay, vegetative propagation. It is helping for the vegetative propagation or vegetative reproduction. So see, some of the plant, not in all the plant, actually in the lower plants, not in the higher plant. For example, in the mango tree or the people tree, they cannot produce vegetative reproduction. The branch, when you cut the branch and planting on the soil, it cannot produce the new plant. But a lower plant like hibiscus or propagation, vegetative propagation. Lower plant like sugar cane, etc. It may produce a new plant by cutting the sugar cane stem and keeping it on the soil. It will produce the new plant. Okay, so that is the vegetative propagation. Some of the plant is the lower plant helping for the vegetative propagation. So like that, so many functions of the stem is there. So let us see all the stem performing this function. No, all the stem is not performing all these functions. Some of the functions may be performing, but some stem performing additional functions besides this one, and that is for that purpose, to perform the additional functions, the particular functions, the stem is modified. So let us go to study the modification of the stem. So what are the different modification of the stem? So let us take one by one. So now we are going to study the modification of the stem. How the stem is modified to perform a particular function. Modification of stem. What are the different? We also studied modification of the root and also studied modification of the leaf. So here also in the stem, the case of the stem also modified variously to perform different functions. So what are the different modification? One of the modification is the bulb modification. In which plant you see the bulb modification? The bulb modification is seen in the onion. So the onion and also in the garlic, the stem modified into bulb-like structure. So what is this modification? Let us see the modification. In the case of the garlic, so this in the case of the garlic, as in the case of the onion have a disc-like stem. This is the disc-like stem. On the disc-like stem having an apical bud. This is the apical bud in the center. Around the apical bud, it produces a fleshy leaf. The fleshy leaf cover the apical bud, and finally it appearing in the form of a bulb-like structure. So it coming like this, it appearing like a bulb-like structure. You can see this type of the structure around the onion. So we actually eating the onion. The part of the onion we eating, actually this fleshy one. It is storing the food and also it is storing the water. Okay. Then it at the apex it is producing the flower, etc. So that is a different. So here another important point. This outermost covering of the this outermost covering is not a fleshy. So the outermost covering is actually very dry, and this dry covering present uh, outside the onion, that is known as a tunic. It is known as a tunic. So this type of the bulb is known as a tunicate bulb. So onion is an example for the tunicate bulb. That means bulb is a different type. So one of the type is the tunicate bulb. Tunicate. But in the case of the garlic, or in the garlic also, actually tunicate is a two types. So that is simple and a compound. The tunicate is a two types: simple tunicate and a compound tunicate. You can see simple tunicate in the case of the onion, and you can see the compound tunicate in the case of the garlic. So what happens in the garlic? In the case of the garlic, there is a central bud. This is the main bud, and this main bud is covered with so many scales. Tunic, actually it is tunic. This is the one. This is another one. It is partially covered, not actually completely covered. So one after the another, number of the tunica is covering on this garlic. So garlic is a good example for what is. It is a good example for the compound. Compound tunica. Both are tunicate. It is a simple. Only a very simple layer is present outside. That you remove, you can see the fleshy layer. But here, one after the another, you have to remove many. So they partially overlapped. So that is known as a compound garlic. And another one is the scaly bulb. So in the scaly bulb, you can see in the lily plant. So in the lily plant, it also in the form of the bulb-like structure like this. Bulb-like structure with the stem, disc-like stem, and the root is here. And it is a covered. There is a central apical bud also. It is covered with so many scale-like leaves. These are not a tunic. It is a scale-like leaves. Many scale-like leaf is covered, and each one is very thin. It is not a fleshy. So that is the difference. It is not a fleshy. It is inside the tunic. It is a fleshy that can we eat. But here, all the layers, all the cover present outside the apical bud is very thin and scaly. So it is known as a scaly bulb. And onion and garlic is known as a tunicate bulb. The tunicate onion is a simple tunicate, and garlic is a compound tunicate. Okay, so let us take another modification that is known as the sucker. So what happens in the sucker? Sucker you can see in the chrysanthemum plant. Chrysanthemum means sunflower. Chrysanthemum. You can see chrysanthemum means a sunflower type of plant. In the case of this chrysanthemum or this plant, it has a stem. Suppose this is the stem. The stem will go and it is producing. This is the stem. It is producing the root, etc. And then here it is producing the stem, the vertical or the erect stem with the leaves, so many leaves, etc. Again it is moving forward, and then it again producing the root. Here it is producing the root and again producing the stem, vertical stem or erect stem with the leaves, etc. And again it is moving, and a number of times it is producing the erect stem, and finally it remaining here with some leaves. So like this. So this is known as a sucker type stem. Stem modified as a sucker. So it is sucking the food from the moving forward and sucking the food, and then it is producing the erect. Then again it moving, again producing the root and sucking the food. Again it growing upward. So that is the nature of this sucker. It is a good example is for that is the chrysanthemum. Okay. Then the third one is the corm type. Corm. The corm you can see in the yam, the plant yam. Elephant foot, it is known as the elephant foot in common. It is very common in the case of the South Indian, and it actually growing the vertically upward. So see the corm. So this is the number one, first modification. This is the number two, second modification, and the third modification I will draw here. So this is the corm. The corm is irregular in shape, large stone-like, and it has the root. Many roots are producing them. And here is the apical bud. It is producing the leaf. So many leaves will produce here, and also flower will form the. This is the underground stem. Here, so many lines you can see. Each line representing the nodes, and in the nodes you can the scaly leaf also presented. So it is growing the vertically upward. So this type of the modification that is known as the corm type of modification. And the fourth one is the rhizome type of modification. Rhizome. The rhizome you can see in the case of the rhizome. Rhizome you can see in ginger rhizome. So in the case of the ginger, how it appearing? See here rhizome. So I will draw here rhizome like this. So this is the number. This is number third one. So this is the number third one, and I will draw the fourth diagram here. That is the ginger. So in the case of the ginger, how the ginger is growing? See here. So the plant. Here is the plant. The plant with the leaves, etc. So here is the leaf, etc. And here it is producing the underground stem. And this underground stem is growing like this. So it is growing like this. It is growing, and it is producing the branches. Again, it will grow, producing the branches. So like this, it will grow and form an irregular structure. This is the ginger. It is showing the number of the lines, and each line representing the node. And in the node, you can see the scaly leaf also. Okay. So this is the stem. Why the question asking why ginger is a stem? Ginger is a stem because it is showing the nodes and internode. In the internode you can see small bud also, apical bud also will be present here, and in the internode you can see the axillary bud also. So that is it growing horizontally. The difference between the corm and the rhizome, the corm is growing vertically upward, and in the case of the rhizome it is growing horizontally. That is the main difference. Once it asked for the NEET examination, the difference between that. So these are the different type of the underground modification. So now we studied underground modification. So all these are the underground modifications. So now let us study the aerial modifications. Aerial modification on the air, that is known as the aerial modification. Aerial modification. So there are two types of the modification for the stem. That is the underground modification and aerial modification. Now we studied underground. All these are the underground modifications. So what are the different aerial modifications? Some of the modification is the stem tendril. So in the last class we studied the tendril. Tendril is a thin wire-like structure produced the different part of the leaf, that is known as the leaf tendril. So here the stem is modified into tendril, then it is known as the stem tendril. Okay, the stem tendril, the tendril may be produced from the axillary bud, or it may be producing from the extra axillary bud, or it may be producing from the opposite of the leaf, or just opposite to the leaf. So these are the three conditions. So let us take axillary bud modification. Axillary bud modified into tendril. The same we studied in the case of the leaf also. Axillary bud modified into tendril in the case of the passiflora. Passiflora. So the passiflora. Here the axillary bud is modified into tendril. And number two, extra axillary bud. So you may be confused what is extra axillary bud. I will explain what is extra axillary. Extra axillary bud. It is seen in the case of the cucurbita. The cucurbita, in the case of the cucurbita, it is producing the extra axillary. What is actually extra axillary? Extra axillary means suppose this is the stem. Okay, this is the stem, and from the stem there is a node, and this node producing the leaf or the branches. Okay, so here is an angle. The bud present here, it is known as the axillary, and outside the axillary may be present a bud that is known as the extra axillary. Okay, so extra axillary bud producing seen in the case of the cucurbita. Okay, so let us study the next one, that is the leaf opposite. Number third type, that is the leaf opposite, just opposite the leaf. Leaf opposite. Leaf opposite. So it is producing the tendril just opposite the leaf. Just opposite the leaf means suppose this is the stem. So this is the stem, and on the stem the leaf present here. Here is the node. In the node there is a branch. Suppose a branch here, and here is the axillary, or here is the leaf, not a branch. Here is the leaf. Just opposite the leaf, it is producing a wire-like structure. Here it is producing a wire-like structure. So that is known as the opposite leaf. So in which plant it is showing this type of grape vein. So grape. In the case of the grape, different type of the grape is available. In the case of all these grape, the tendril is producing just opposite the leaf. So that is the tendril modification. So next number fourth, we can study. Number two. These are the different types of the tendril. So number two, that is the thalamus. So what is the thalamus? We know the thalamus. We studied the thalamus at many times. Thalamus. So what is actually thalamus? So here, before dealing with the thalamus, actually the tip of the stem, apical bud, it is modified into an enlarged part that is known as the thalamus. On the thalamus, the calyx, the corolla, etc., androecium, gynoecium, all these will produce. This is the thalamus. So this thalamus is actually what is? It is a modified stem. The apical bud is modified into floral bud, or the axillary bud is modified into floral bud. When it is modifying the floral bud, it is producing the thalamus. So on the thalamus, you can see the corolla, androecium, etc. So the thalamus. So this is the thalamus. So that is the thalamus. Thalamus is the modified stem. Okay. Then next, that is the stem thorn. In some of the plants, the axillary bud, it is producing a very sharp thorn-like structure, or maybe apical bud is modified into a very strong thorn-like structure, spine-like structure, that is known as a thorn. The main function of the thorn, that also we studied in the case of the leaf. The purpose is the same. It protects the plant from the browsing animal. Okay, so it prevents the animals to browse the plant. So the plant protected from the browsing animal with the help of the thorn. That's one function. Another function is that if a leaf is there, the leaf having the surface area more water will move outside by transpiration. So if the leaf is changed into a thorn-like structure, a thorn has a very low surface area, so little water will be transpired, or little water will be removing through this spine. So to reduce the transpiration, the thorn is formed. So like that, there are two functions. It protects the plant from the browsing animal. It reduces the rate of transpiration. Okay. And also some of the thorn helping to climb over the other plant, climbing purpose also. So that is a thorn. Then next, fourth one, that is the cladode. So what is actually cladode? A technical term, cladode, most commonly asking for the NEET examination, cladode. So this cladode is actually limited growth of the stem. It is actually branch having the limited growth. See here, in the case of the good example is the asparagus is the good example. Shatavari in Marathi and Hindi. So how it appears, see here, see this is the plant, the Shatavari plant or the asparagus plant. Example is a good example is asparagus. So here this is the node. In the node it is producing a branch. But this branch having a limited growth, only two node, internode. One internode will be present. Here is the one node, this is another node. So single internode length. So here it may be produce another branch also. So it may be produce another branch also. So number of the branches will produce from the node. Each branch has a limited growth. Only one internode present. So that is a good example for the cladode asparagus. In the case of the asparagus, such a type of the stem modification or the branch modification is known as the cladode. Okay, asparagus. So very clear. So only very important point. Single node length. It is a limited growth. Only one node will produce, one internode will produce, and no further growth. That is the cladode. Okay. So the next is the phyllodes. Phyllodes. Same, near about the same word. Phyllodes. Cladode, phyllodes. and cladophyll. These are the three terms commonly asking for the NEET examination. So here, phylloclad. So what is actually phylloclad? The phylloclad, take the first example for the phylloclad, that is Opentia. In Marathi it is known as the Opentia is known as the Nivudunga. So the Opentia. In the case of the Opentia, the stem is modified into a large flat leaf-like structure. It again producing another leaf-like structure. So it again producing another leaf-like structure. Actually, this is not a leaf. This is actually stem. Stem is modified into leaf-like structure. So fill means a leaf. Clad means a stem. So leaf modified into stem-like structure. And on the stem, node present on the node, it is producing the leaf and also producing the thorn. It is producing the thorn. So like that, so many thorns you can see on this plant. And this thorn, actually the leaf present at the base of the thorn or in the axillary bud, and this leaf will fall down. It cannot remain in there. So why it is producing like this? Because it has to reduce the transpiration, because this plant, phylloclad plant, or the xerophytic plant, it is growing in the region where the water is very less in the soil. So it has to store the water more, so or to prevent the removal of the water by transpiration. So reducing the transpiration by falling the leaf immediately after the formation, very small leaf, it forming and falling. And the stem is modified in the leaf-like structure to perform the function of the photosynthesis. Okay, so that is seen in, it is an adaptation for the xerophytic adaptation to live successfully in the xerophytic condition. Okay, so that is the different modification of the stem. So today we studied the what is actually the stem. So what are the characteristics of the stem, and then we studied different modification, underground modification, different types, and the aerial modification we studied. Okay, thank you very much today, and tomorrow we will study the next part of this chapter. Okay.